Who are your biggest Minnesota influences then? When you were coming up, were there people on the local scene that you really idolized?
Absolutely. Some of them you'd never know because they were people that I went to school with. And like you probably would also say, I got really lucky at an early age to have people that could play drums and bass around me. Like that. That's one of the things as a guitar teacher, I always tell my young students, if you want to get better faster, play with a drummer, play with other people, because you all have to agree where the beat is, right? So players, friends, people that I played in early bands with were huge influences to me. Other guitar players at the competing junior high, if I heard he was better, he could play Van Halen, then I would learn Van Halen, But from a professional level, there was an acoustic player named Michael Johnson who became known for his voice crooning on kind of like middle of the road tunes out of Nashville, like Bluer Than Blue was probably the most famous one that people might connect with. They might have heard that song, Bluer Than Blue.
Sadder than sad.
Yeah.
That one?
But the truth was that Michael Johnson was probably the most gifted and insanely talented arranger, performer of accompanimental guitar, meaning playing the guitar at a very high level in a way that supports a vocal. And he had a beautiful voice, and he was like a whole package right there. It was like the complexity that people they don't hear it, but it's there in James Taylor's music. His guitar parts are works of art, by themselves. Just so happens he could sing his ass off too on top of it. So Michael Johnson, certainly represents like a Minnesota James Taylor, but even like at a higher level as a player on nylon string guitar. And he was a big hero of mine. And growing up listening to Leo Kottke records, and yes, Leo's got a different kind of voice, man. But if you love that big baritone, it wasn't just his guitar playing; it was his voice as well. And I got out of here. I was crazy about electric guitar, so I put myself through the paces with Santana and the Allman Brothers, Dickie and Dwayne. I mean, imagine, how wide that electric guitar gamut. And I was trying to nail down all the Jeff Beck stuff at the same time before I really fell in love with what I'm doing now on acoustic. But I had that background of Michael Johnson on nylon string acoustic, James Taylor on steel string acoustic, and enjoying playing behind singers, which is what I did in bands in high school. I was the guitar guy, and there was always a gal singing in the band.